For the entire 4 years, the boss be a president, Obi. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, not even a single year in improvement in our economy. In fact, each of the years got worse until we went to IMF. He's right. He's right. Say, between 2000 and comparatively, so compare 2010 to 2012,
yes.
to Omomuhua, he's right. Under Professor Mills, for almost about I think about 3 years continuous, Professor Mills recorded
single 2 years.
Yeah, about 2 years, right?
Yes.
Obi, ever since Professor Mills, may God keep his soul. Unfortunately, former President John Mahama, I had on my wish for each of the years, the economy got worse. Each of the years. Sure?
But he makes the point that our 2 year stability, now JM the head of the economic management.
JM, which year has JM ever been a head of economic management team?
President Mills, vice president.
President Mills economic management, when the members of the economic management team. When President Mills was in power, did you ever hear say President Mills economic management team where they head and where they members? In fact, you interviewed a friend and saying Dr. Dufo. Didn't he tell you that John Mahama wasn't the head of any economic management team? He told you here in this seat. The video is still online. So what are you talking about? And that will be a fellow back question. You interviewed the finance minister under Professor Mills.
Yeah.
The man who steered affairs under Professor Mills, who told you say John Mahama was never head of any management team. He was never a member of any economic management team in the first place. And you are here saying Felix say. But he's lying. Before you interviewed him here, the video, I even shared it. Wasn't before the finance minister under John Mahama. Didn't you interview before during his flag bearership way? Didn't he tell you that John Mahama was never
a Semper FM
and never any head of any economic management? In fact, Professor Mills and Bresso, what's the economic management team? What's the year? Did you hear it? Don't let me digress. And then you're on some count. You see, this time, we are not like our ancestors. people for the new generation, Gen Z, we are not like our ancestors who would clear the path for you. Obi, it is a fact. A matter of fact to say, John Mahama was vice president who was never anywhere close to the management of the economy. Then eventually in 2012, unfortunately we lost the president. And then the vice president came to tell us, maybe vice president, Mr. Mo, Madaroma, Moment was Monsieur, maybe I just say, and fellas won't can some say, and some days say, and it's Obama Jomama. Obi, the kind of economy Jomama ever saw mu as president in 2010. Now, between 2012, now inflation now about 8.8. 2013, your mama they call 13.5. 2014, or the inflation cost 17. 2015, or the cost 17.7. 2016, or the cost 15.4. Whatever the case is, the inflation that your mama inherited in 2012 was between 8% to 9%. Ever since he became president, for each of the years that John Mahama was president, inflation got worse. Not a single time in Mahama's presidency, not even 1 year in Mahama's presidency, to me the inflation ever under control. In fact, inflation climbed from single digits to 13.5 to 17 to 17.7 to 15.4. Bam, in the IMF. Not even a single moment in his life as a president can he put his chest out and say, Ghana for me bedi or man I didn't miss someone and I'm with the mammy and me ye be paying. Me to be a bibi papa ba pay. And based on that, into no motion so yede ento Obama. Obi. Sponsor GDP no normally ya kai empesa yede oil de anukra be yede. Ebe ka unhwe 2012 Ghana's GDP with oil was about 8.42%. Without oil was about 7.83%. 2012. And this is the economy. Your Mahama ebeji ya obeye president. Nti me fa say 8.42, 7.83. 2013, or the cost 7.24 with oil, or the cost 6.69 without oil. Obi, 2 years down the line, just 2 years down the line of John Mahama becoming president, you know, now we're moving Ghana's GDP now. It was growing at 8.42%, you know, or they call 2.86, 2.49 in 2014, 2.86 with oil, 2.49 without oil. In 2014, just 2 years. Just 2 years. 2015, it's also take off him, equal 2.12, 2.13. Obi, throughout the month's period in office as president, the economy went into turbulence. This is a matter of fact too. Not a single indicator under John Mahama as president did we see any single improvement in our economy. It was as a result of shambolic management of the economy in a sikakra on the better fuel, diesel, a good generator, a power electricity, American Union. Or almost of it. So let me tell you, when we were in opposition, we were constantly on record telling you, say, the crisis that we found ourselves in Ghana had nothing to do with capacity, any generation. It has never been. Because all they did was that Omokwaman said just so eco-free generators. Are you now aware? Are you now aware? Power purchasing agreement, and you're free, eco-free. It was easy. They went out there during the crisis, told people, say, Munim, Yapekania, Mumesiba, Yabetua, and Kakrakra. Obi almost see generators, no baby power plants, no baby across the country, and it was easy because they were not paying for it. To the extent they do, baby, no Obi, not capacity no crowd, power plants no crowd, no power generator no crowd, broso. It's almost to be see. I feel almost to be see. I saw those who can't to BMW. What to can you know? Second, I can to me surround up a day and to me fence won't go in a day and found carbon. You need to buy fuel into the BMW now. Do see kakwe day akoton when put there because what say economy na say nti when yes kakra nkota de no uko free you go so yetu anka you go so tu anka entu anwie you uko free ni nyina aba you go so tu anka entu anwie wo de ba wie no fuel la wo de be go power ni no bi unni sika wo de be to, and that is the reason why we slept in darkness for 2 years. The only reason why we slept in darkness in this country was that this incompetent NDC, they are blabbing, talking plenty. When they had power, they couldn't do anything. No? When they had the chance, all they did was that in our crisis moments, no, omuko free power ni beguho, omuko free buy and obi. Aka, I'm friend say, fuel on the tree fuel, fang, wo mo be good generators ni no more power electricity obi. Just because of fuel, that is why we slept in that. But
at the time, no, without any addition of generation capacity, no, anchor resolution of the problem. Obi, it was money was the problem, and then you see, we are not foolish. Yes,
we are not foolish.
Yeah.
If you go and borrow somebody's vehicle to your house, and it doesn't mean that when you're home, obi car, ebe si ufia, and not just when you're home. And so obi, but no way I find pamwa. And to open BMW na make one some. Oba no, what you open kwa be first obe to kwa free koko memri akọ Madina. E na oba me ho. E na mede me BMW no FM wo. E na si ufie. Afa wo so no pa, e kwan be na BMW no be first do akọ Madina, wo se ma solve problem no. Nya sabe no wo. Obi asema wo kan pay. Wei akola kra ka che no be die di. E se wo tu kwan kọ Madina. E se wo nya car na wo de kọ Madina. First of all, wo nis car do be to car no. Second, wo nis car so do be to fuel. Na mom me ya wunu ya me ya wadanfo into ba me ho se me fa me car na mfemo e na me de car na femo car ne be si fie no afa o so no pa sika o do beto diesel egubu akomade na wunya o se ma solve problem no. Which kind of childish a friend is saying explanation is this? O se ma solve problem no. Eti car ne be si wona afia no pe bia sorry a na o hwe car nanim enso wa ketre fie on to me komade na no we ye ka chep akwala ban. That is the image you are painting for the people of Ghana. We yakacha akwala bayi enti for 2 good years and I had the capacity buy and the generators buy and the generators buy obi for 2 good years you couldn't give us power only for you to leave power. Now there is electricity. We solved it. You only managed to solve the electricity crisis when you left power. Fitimra NDC fi abamu ekoye when we say energy crisis wa my way. So how come the entire period we had a crisis and they were in power, we never had that kind of energy crisis doom so What kind of childish explanation is this? Obi, as someone make about doom so many bresamo. These guys they take us for granted. The NDC take the whole country for granted.
Tone down, Kaka.
Obi,
childish and it's
Obi, because in fact, some factories were converted into churches. And Edda, your friend said theater, so I was surgery room near Doom Canea, near the torchlight. Obi, didn't you see it? People's education got truncated because they couldn't have energy to study. This is the kind of ayakayaka dia modi efemu. You have the mouth to still be talking.
Let's move on to other.
The fact of the matter is that John Mahama as president was symbolic. He was incompetent, and the figures are here. His entire 4 years in office, he took this country down the drain.